Embrace. Embrace. To hold someone closely in one's arms, usually is a sign of affection. To accept or adopt a new idea, belief, or situation. She ran to her father and gave him a tight embrace. The company needs to embrace new technology if it wants to stay competitive. Endeavor. Endeavor. To make a concerted effort towards achieving a goal, often requiring determination and hard work. A sincere attempt or effort towards achieving something. She endeavored to complete her project before the deadline. The company made an endeavor to improve their customer service. Enforce. Enforce. To make sure that people obey a rule or law. To make something happen or be carried out with force. The police are here to enforce the law and maintain order. The government will enforce stricter regulations on pollution. Envy. Envy. A feeling of discontent or resentful longing for someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. To have a strong desire to possess or have something. Her envy of her friend's success was palpable. He couldn't help but envy his neighbor's new car. Equation. Equation. A statement that two things are equal, typically represented by using mathematical symbols like an equal sign. A situation or circumstance in which two or more things are equal or balanced. The equation between the number of students and the amount of desks in the classroom needs to be balanced for optimal learning conditions. Equator. Equator. An imaginary line drawn around the Earth, equally distant from both the North and South poles, dividing the Earth into the Northern Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere. A region near this line with a hot and humid climate. Many tropical countries lie on or near the equator. The equator receives more direct sunlight than the poles, leading to a different climate. Esteem. Esteem. To regard someone or something with respect or admiration. To have a high opinion of oneself or to hold oneself in high regard. She was held in high esteem by her colleagues due to her professionalism and work ethic. He had such a strong sense of esteem that he refused to take advice from anyone. Evolve. Evolve. To develop gradually into something different and more advanced over time. To undergo a process of gradual and continuous change. Humans are believed to have evolved from apes over millions of years. The company's strategies are evolving to keep up with the changing market. Exaggerate. Exaggerate. To overstate or magnify something beyond its actual size, extent, or importance. To emphasize or enhance something in a way that goes beyond the truth. She tends to exaggerate the difficulty of her job to gain sympathy from her friends. The movie exaggerated the dangers of space travel to create a sense of drama. Exclude. Exclude. To leave out or omit something, someone. To prevent someone from entering or being involved in something. Please exclude the last question from the exam. He was excluded from the team because of his bad behavior. Exert. Exert. To apply or put forth physical force, energy, or influence. To make a great effort, try very hard. She had to exert all her strength to lift the heavy box. He had to exert his influence to get the project approved. Extract. Extract. To remove or take out something, usually by force or effort. A concentrated substance obtained from a plant, food, or other substance. The dentist had to extract my wisdom tooth because it was causing pain. The vanilla extract gave the cake a delicious flavor. Famine. Famine. Extreme scarcity of food leading to widespread hunger and starvation. A widespread shortage of a specific commodity or resource. The famine in Ethiopia in the 1980s resulted in the deaths of over 1 million people. The Irish potato famine of the mid-19th century resulted in the immigration of millions of Irish people to other countries. Fascinate. Fascinate. To attract or hold the attention of someone. To be very interested or curious about something. The magician's show fascinated the audience with his amazing tricks. She was fascinated by the history of ancient Greece. Fatigue. Fatigue. Extreme tiredness or exhaustion, often due to physical or mental exertion. A piece of military clothing that covers the body and is worn over other clothing to protect against fatigue, dirt, or other hazards. After running a marathon, she experienced extreme fatigue and had to rest for several days. The soldiers wore fatigues when they were out in the field to protect themselves from dirt and other hazards. Fiscal. Fiscal. Related to government revenue, especially taxes. Relating to financial matters in general, particularly those affecting a company or organization. The government's fiscal policy aims to increase tax revenues and reduce spending. The company's fiscal year ends on December 31st, so we need to make sure all financial reports are submitted by then. Flee. Flee. To run away from a dangerous or threatening situation. To leave a place quickly or secretly. The family had to flee their home during the war. When the fire alarm went off, everyone fled the building. Fleet. Fleet. A group of ships, vehicles, or aircrafts operated by a company, organization, or government for a specific purpose. Moving or acting rapidly, usually with a sense of purpose or urgency. The naval fleet was dispatched to the Gulf of Aden to counter pirates. The CEO had a fleet of cars at his disposal for business trips. The cheetah is known for its ability to run at a fleet speed of over 60 miles per hour. Flourish. Flourish. To grow or develop in a healthy or strong way. To succeed or do well, especially in a particular environment. The flowers in the garden are flourishing due to the favorable weather conditions. The small business flourished in the local market and eventually expanded internationally. Fluid. Fluid. A substance that can flow and take the shape of its container. A continuous and smooth movement, often used to describe movements of dancers or athletes. The fluid inside the bottle is used for lubricating machinery. Her movements were so fluid, it seemed like she was dancing on air. Foster. Foster. To nurture, raise, or care for someone as if they were one's own. To encourage the development or growth of something. After her parents died, she was fostered by her aunt and uncle. Fragment. Fragment. A small piece or part, especially a broken part of something larger. A group of words that is not a complete sentence. She found a fragment of glass on the floor. Running in the park is an example of a fragment because it's not a complete sentence. Freight. Freight. Goods or cargo transported by trucks, trains, ships, or airplanes. The cost of transporting goods by a carrier. The freight train carried a load of coal across the country. The company had to pay extra freight fees for expedited delivery of their products. Friction. Friction. The resistance that two surfaces or substances encounter when in contact with each other, which hinders or prevents motion. Conflict or discord between people or groups. The friction between the wheels of a car and the road helps it to stop. There was a lot of friction between the two colleagues, which led to their constant arguments in the workplace. Frown. Frown. To wrinkle one's brow in a displeased or worried manner. To look disapprovingly or critically. She frowned when she saw the grade on her exam. The teacher frowned at the students who were talking during class. Frustrate. Frustrate. To make someone feel disappointed or discouraged due to a hindrance or obstacle. To prevent the effort or progress of something or someone. The constant traffic always frustrates me on my way to work. His lack of attention to detail frustrated the project's timeline. Furthermore. Furthermore. In addition to what has been stated. As a further and more important point. Furthermore, we need to consider the environmental impact of our actions. We need to invest time and resources into the company's marketing strategy. Furthermore, we need to hire additional staff to handle the increased workload. Generate. Generate. To produce or create something. To bring forth or bring about. The machine can generate enough electricity to power a small town. The movement of the waves generates energy that can be used to produce electricity. Geometry. Geometry. The branch of mathematics that deals with the study of points, lines, angles, shapes, and their properties. A particular shape or arrangement of geometric figures. My sister struggles with geometry, but she excels in algebra. The modern art piece was made up of various geometries, including triangles and squares. Gloomy. Gloomy. Describing a dark, sad, or depressing atmosphere or outlook. Lacking in brightness or luster. She was in a gloomy mood after hearing the bad news. The weather outside was gloomy and overcast. The painting had a gloomy color palette with lots of dark grays and blues. Despite the gloomy forecast for the economy, she remained optimistic about the future.